Hey, boys and girls. I cannot wait to share the rest of the story with you today since yesterday you only got to see a little piece of it or hear a little piece of it. All right, I'm going to show you those silent E words again. This week you're not going to write with me. You're just going to kind of follow along. All right, we're going to write a short vowel word. So a CVC word. Remember my short vowels are a, e, ah, and okay? Now, when I have my CVC word like this, my short vowel, my O, is going to say ah. When I add that magic E to the end, it's going to make my vowel go long. So it's going to say its name. It's going to say A, E, I, O, or U, okay? So let's push this short vowel word. Odd. Cod. Very good. I'm going to use my magical wand. I'm going to put my magic E on the end. Remember, I mark it out because it's silent. It doesn't say anything. The only thing it does is make this O say O. Now my word is ode, code. Yes, got it. So cod and code. All right, let's do one more before we move on to our book. All right. This is a harder one. Let's do it together. Slid, slid, slid. Very good. Okay, I'm going to make my E silent, and it's going to make that I say I. Let's see what our new word is. Slide, slide. That I says I. Very good. Okay. We'll keep working on that tomorrow. So yesterday, you got to read just a little bit of Roses Are Pink, Your Feet Really Stink. And Gilbert didn't like two of his friends very much because they weren't nice to him. So he said, you know what? I'm not going to make them a nice Valentine. I'm going to make them a nasty Valentine. But he didn't have the courage to sign his own name. He signed each other's name on the Valentine. So when they read these Valentines, I bet they're not going to be very happy. But let's read and find out. Roses are pink, your feet really stink. There they were, 15 blank Valentine cards waiting to be filled with nice Valentine's poems. They were sitting on the kitchen table in a pile as high as Gilbert's nose. Mrs. Bird had told them to write something nice for each classmate because Valentine's Day was about liking each other. Gilbert liked Patty a lot. She had smiley eyes and a silly laugh that made Gilbert feel silly too. He picked out the biggest card and wrote inside, "Roses are red, violets are blue. Your eyes are nice and I like you. Love, Gilbert." Gilbert also liked Frank. Frank let Gilbert use his baseball mitt once when Gilbert forgot to bring his own. On Frank's card he wrote, "Your name is Frank, it isn't Hank. You lent me your mitt, so you I thank. Love, Gilbert." This is fun, Gilbert thought. He continued to write nice Valentine's poem until there were 2 cards left, one for Lewis and one for Margaret. Gilbert didn't want to write a nice poem for Lewis. Lewis once tweaked Gilbert's nose until it turned red. He didn't want to write a nice poem for Margaret either. Margaret made fun of Gilbert's glasses, so he didn't write nice poems. On Lewis's card he wrote, "Violets are blue, roses are pink. Your feet are big and they really stink." Gilbert thought the poem was funny, but maybe Lewis wouldn't. Maybe he would tweak Gilbert's nose when he read it. Gilbert didn't want Lewis to tweak his nose again, so he didn't sign his name. He signed it Margaret. On Margaret's card he wrote, "Roses are red, you wet the bed. I think that you have rocks in your head." Gilbert liked the poem, but he didn't think Margaret would. He didn't want Margaret to say mean things to him again, so he signed the card Lewis. On Valentine's Day, Gilbert walked into school with 15 cards and a tin of Valentine cookies that his mother had baked for the party. Mrs. Bird let everyone open their cards. One of Gilbert's cards has X's all over the envelope, so he opened it first. It said, "Roses are red, violets are blue. You are my friend and I like you." It was signed Patty. Gilbert smiled at Patty and Patty giggled back. Gilbert opened the rest of his cards. They were all very friendly. Even Lewis had written a poem for him. "You may be small, you're not very tall, but I like the way that you play ball." Gilbert was happy that Lewis liked the way he played ball. And Margaret wrote, "Sometimes you are very sweet. I hope you brought nice cookies to eat." Gilbert smiled to himself. Margaret thought that he was very sweet. He looked over at Margaret. She wasn't happy with one of her valentines. She stuck her tongue out at Lewis. Lewis wasn't happy with one of his valentines either. He stuck his tongue out at Margaret. Margaret pushed Lewis. Lewis called Margaret a bad name. Miss Bird said, "Quiet, please. Valentine's Day is about liking each other, not about fighting." She made the class do workbooks for the rest of the morning. Everyone was mad at Lewis and Margaret, even Gilbert. When it was reading time, Margaret looked through all of her valentines again and said, "I have 2 valentines from Lewis, a good one and a bad one." Lewis said, "I didn't write a bad one. Someone else wrote my name." He looked through his own pile of cards and said, "I have 2 valentines from Margaret and none from Gilbert." Then he shouted, "Oh no, Gilbert wrote the bad cards and signed our names." And Miss Bird said, "Quiet, please." At lunch, nobody wanted to sit near Gilbert, not even Patty. He had to sit all by himself. When he peeked over his carrot and banana sandwich, he could see Patty and Lewis giggling at their table. Gilbert wondered if Lewis thought Patty had smiley eyes and a silly laugh too. He saw Margaret eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich like she did every day. Gilbert liked peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and wished that he was eating one too. At recess, nobody played with Gilbert, and Gilbert was very sorry that he had written 2 mean and nasty valentines. When they all lined up to go inside, Patty finally asked, "Why did you write bad things about your friends, Gilbert?" "Because Lewis tweaked my nose," Gilbert said, "and Margaret made fun of my glasses." Lewis said, "I'm sorry I tweaked your nose, Gilbert. You can tweak mine if you want." Gilbert gave Lewis's nose a little tweak, but it didn't turn red. And Margaret said, "I'm sorry I made fun of your glasses, Gilbert. I'll wear them the rest of the day." She put on Gilbert's glasses, but she couldn't see anything, and Gilbert couldn't see anything, so she gave him back. In art class, Gilbert made 2 new valentines out of red paper and lace. During spelling, Gilbert wrote a new poem for Lewis. "Violets are blue, roses are pink. I'm sorry that I said your feet really stink." Then Gilbert thought of something nice about Margaret. He liked the way that she always smelled like peanut butter and jelly. So he wrote a new poem for her. "Roses are red, jelly is sweet. You smell as good as the sandwich you eat." Then in math, Gilbert figured out that he had 364 days before he would have to write any more valentines. Finally, it was time for the party. Gilbert gave the new cards to Lewis and Margaret, and he passed out the cookies that his mother had baked. And each cookie said, "Happy Valentine's Day." So this story had a problem and it had a solution. A solution is how you solve your problem. So the problem was that Gilbert wrote not so nice cards to his friends, and the solution was that they all apologized to each other to make it better. Writing today is going to be fun for you. I want you to find any kind of paper in your house. If you have construction paper, use it. If you don't, just use white paper from your journal. But I want you to use your crayons, markers, whatever you have, and I want you to make a valentine for someone. It could be for your teacher. It could be for your parents. It could be for your brother and sister. It could be for a friend. But I want you to make a beautiful valentine, and I want you to write something nice to someone that you're writing it to. If you were writing it to your mom, you could say, "Thank you for all you do around our house." If you're writing it to your teacher, you could say, "Thank you for teaching me," and always having a smile on your face. So I want you to make a valentine, and I want you to put it into your Google Slides, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.